So someone asked me a question today that stated that what if somebody who was convicted of murder served his murder term, for example, which was reduced to manslaughter, for 30 years, and after that 30 years, the court or people came upon a new set of facts. The people that sued him came upon a new set of facts. Can that case be reopened for a continuation of his sentence if, for example, he was supposed to serve more for what he did? And I'm like, no. By reason of the principle of res judicata as contained in section 318 of the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria, once a court of competent jurisdiction has decided finally upon a matter, that matter cannot be deliberated upon anymore. As a matter of fact, the court that made the judgment is now functo officio in that regard, can no longer perform a function in that regard once the judgment has been given. However, there is something called appellate jurisdiction, which is where we have cases where the case is appealed to a higher court. As a matter of fact, by virtue of section 6 sub 5 of the 1999 Constitution, there is something called the hierarchy of courts, where courts are structured based on the hierarchy. So for example, at the bottom one, we have the customary court or area courts. This ones deal with matters at the bottom, matters that have to do with villages, traditional matters and stuff like that. We have the magistrate court coming up on a close second, okay, dealing on matters that have certain amount of money involved. Most of the matters deal on civil matters, and then petty issues like petty theft and stuff like that. We have the high court, they deal on much more serious matters. We have the state high court, for example, and the federal high court. They deal on matters like murder and other incriminating issues. And from then on, we have the Court of Appeal, which is the second highest in command. We have the Supreme Court. Interspersed between that list is what we call the National Industrial Court, which is becoming much more and more important, because this one's deal on issues of employment, taxation, and stuff like that. So once, for example, a magistrate court has decided upon a matter, that matter cannot be decided upon again by that same court. Rather, if the person who is aggrieved by the decision of the court appeals for a review of the matter by a higher court, for example, this time by the High Court, the High Court has the right to set aside the decision of the magistrate court if it finds out that there was a fault in its judgment, and then go ahead to give a better judgment. Now, what happens where it gets to the Supreme Court, which is the highest court of the land? The Supreme Court has its limits. Once it has decided upon a matter, it cannot be reversed anymore. 99% of the time, the judgment of the Supreme Court is supreme and final and cannot be changed, no matter what. So here we go with the legal series for today. I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your evening.